Hey guys, welcome back, and welcome back to Heavy Rain. This is going to be a little bit different than I usually do. I'm currently recording my voice over this, because, yeah, the audio issue I was having wasn't so much a technical issue, but rather a me issue. I did not unmute my mic. Well, actually, I didn't realize I muted it to begin with. So, yeah, that was kind of the issue of this video. But, yeah, we're going to be, talking over this, which is going to be a little bit different. I've never done recorded commentary before, so this is going to be a new one for me. So I'm more just going to be giving you guys like my thoughts and stuff like that on what I was kind of saying and discussing while going through this video. So with this one, I was kind of still trying to figure out what the connection between all these people is. And I was still kind of, I was giving like my continued theory that somehow the Origami Killer may be the dad. Because he has these random blackout episodes, and then he remembers nothing. And we had an origami figure in our hands before, for anyone who might not remember. And at this point, we're going through this letter, because I was very curious on what it was. I didn't quite know what it meant at the time. So as he's like reading it over, it's obviously a message from the Origami Killer. And as he's reading this, I'm saying in the video originally, go to the police. We need to go to the cops. Take this to them. So yeah, you can kind of see I was just kind of reading it. I put it back in the envelope. And at one point, when I do the mental thought options, it's like one of them is police, and even he is saying I need to take this to the police, but he doesn't. So I'm not exactly sure why that was an option, why he was thinking you need to go to the cops if we're not going to the cops in the first place. So for me, that was a little odd on why that was even an option if we're not going to the cops.
Origami figure in my hand after my blackout. It's the same one the killer leaves in the hands of his victims. I've never done origami in my life.
So now I'm just like running for the options and everything.
I need to show it to the police.
And you see, it even says take it to the police, and that's why I go outside. I mean, yeah, I need to go outside to progress the game, but it's like we're going outside. I'm assuming we're going to the cops. I kind of get stuck there with the weird controls on the rails, and I'm just kind of taking a quick look out back again just to see if there's anything I may have missed. Like, you never know. Something may have changed, but I thought, you know what, I'll just check anyway, just to make sure. And yeah, obviously nothing's changed, so I'm probably not going to check that again. At this point, I'm making a joke saying, yo, sorry Mrs. Johnson, I'm going to cut through your backyard for a moment. And then, yes, you know, bypassing all the media assholes who are outside my home. And, yeah, just going to go check the, well, I'm assuming at this point we're going to talk to the cops. But yeah, that did not happen. At this point, I realized we were not going to the police station, but we were actually going to the, what appears to be like the train or metro station that, well, actually, at first I didn't know why we were here, because that picture wasn't very obvious, but then it became very obvious we were going to this metro station, or subway. I'm not sure what this was. I don't live in a big city, so I'm not very familiar with like how the layouts are for like metros or subways or train or anything like that.
Can't take crowds.
So yeah, I'm not too familiar. So if you guys want to tell me, like, if you know what this is, I mean, it's supposed to be in Philadelphia, so I'm assuming it's like a metro station or something like that. But I'm not totally sure. If you guys know, let me know, because again, not a big city. I have no idea.
I can't make it. Too many people.
I'm also just drinking some pop while doing this because, yeah, this is a new one for me. So, I'll leave you guys with this. And I'll also make random audio cuts here and there so you guys can, like, listen to some of this as it goes, and I'll give you my thoughts and stuff afterwards. At this point, it becomes very obvious that he's having some kind of mental break, but it still kind of just it kind of trips me out a little bit because everybody's just ragdolling basically, and then we got Sean here riding around with a balloon, which is on its own very unsettling. But if you watch, like this just gets very weird. Like I'm trying not to hit people, but then after a while it's just like, you know what? This is freaky. I'm just gonna plow through these people. It was a little funny, honestly. Because every time you bump into, they just go plop. So it's kind of funny, honestly. But nonetheless, very, very disturbing. But it is pretty cool that every one of these characters, or these people, has like a uniqueness to them. Like, I actually gotta respect the amount of effort they made to give all these people their own look and facial features and everything. Like, it's actually very impressive. Most other game companies wouldn't take this time to do this, because if you look, every one of them is different. From their style to their dress, the way they carry themselves, everything. It's very different, and it was very cool. But yeah, I'm not gonna ramble on that too much. At this point, I'm just kind of saying, like, he needs to calm down. Like, he is obviously just freaking the fuck out because he's losing it. Like, yeah, he clearly had an anxiety attack or some kind of anxiety-based breakdown. Because if you remember, he doesn't appear to be going out much. He doesn't seem to have any real like social interaction that lets him be around a lot of people. So I think it was just like a bad crowd anxiety attack that kind of triggered this.
Line 18, box number 3.
Alright, so at this point, I went ahead and cut out trying to find the lockers. It took me a few minutes, because having the fixed camera angles really made it difficult to get around. And I did end up misclicking on some of them, like misselecting. Because I'm not against like these whole like movie-esque kind of cinematic camera angles, but they do make it very hard when you're trying to like navigate in such a tight space like this. So I ended up just cutting that section out because it took me, I think it took me like 2 or 3 minutes to find the locker that I was looking for. And at this point I'm thinking, what's in the box? And I'm thinking to myself, like, if there's some kind of trophy in here, like an ear or something, or not trophy, but you know what I mean, something that the killer would use to like taunt the parent, it better not be, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is going to be some kind of like a finger or an ear or something that says, hey, I got your kid, I can do whatever I want to him, what are you going to do about it? And here, I'm also thinking, like, dude, you said we were going to the cops. We have more evidence. We have all this stuff. Why are we not going to the cops? And I'm also curious as fuck as what's in the box. Because he left us these instructions to find the box. We found the box, so why haven't we gone to the cops?
A shoebox. What's the connection with Sean's disappearance? I took a room in the first motel I saw. The box from the locker. What am I going to find inside?
Right away, I want to know what's in this box. So that's why I go over and I'm just thinking, you know, what is in here? I'm very, very curious. And I see the 9mm, the phone, and some origami pieces. I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe, you know, it's all origami stuff. Is it the symbol, like the calling card of the origami killer, obviously. So I'm thinking, like, these are numbered. Not thinking, I'm saying like, okay, so these are numbers on them. This has to be some kind of like clue as to how to find him. So like maybe I have to go to these different places, find something that leads to a bigger picture. Because that's what it feels like to me at the time. The gun is a little disturbing too. And at this point, I'm also saying like, okay, so we have an address, but what's all this about? Like, we have all these other pieces. So what exactly am I looking for? What do you mean courage? Like, am I coming to face you, or am I like just proving to get a reward for something in your twisted game? So what exactly are you getting out of these? I'm gonna shush now so you can you see this video.
Help! Dad,
Sean.
where are you? I'm so cold. Dad! Dad!
And going back to these trials things, it's kind of fucked up because it's like, so what? You're basically putting me through a test to see what I'll go through to save my son, basically, or to save Sean. And it's kind of a fucked up thing because it's like you give me a gun and you're telling me each of these letters has a trial in it for me, basically. So you're pretty much saying, do this, play my twisted game, and maybe you'll get your son back. Which is a very fucked up thing. But it's not totally unrealistic. Because if you look at like some very notable FBI and such cases, there are some people who are kind of that fucked up. Who would actually do that? So it's a kind of a pretty accurate and fucked up thing to include in the game. So I guess I kind of give them points for not being totally unrealistic.
The killer is white.
Now, I'm
Between 30 and 45.
not going to have too much commentary over the FBI part because I kind of run through it, and I'll give my bits as, it comes up.
That's why he covers their faces with mud, to make them anonymous.
Why does he kill them if he doesn't have anything against them?
For him, they're more of an image, a symbol. That's probably why he gives them an origami figure and an orchid as gifts, to apologize for what he's done to them.
Very interesting. And where does all that get us?
The best way of tracking a predator is to be familiar with his behavior.
This I really liked because this is actually a tactic that the FBI employ because, or not, oh yeah, I guess employ, yeah. Because you can't just go around like a street cop talking about how, we just go to these corners, we go to these drug houses, we know where they are. Because when you're dealing with a serial killer, it's not as simple as just going on patrol. He's going to be coordinated, he's going to be organized, he's going to have an area of which he is comfortable doing certain things. So that's why knowing his patterns, knowing how he does things, even knowing how he kills people, really tells a lot about them and makes them easy to track.
The more it rains, the less time the victim has to live. Then I studied the geographical distribution of the murders. Generally, a killer commits his first murder near to where he lives, so he has a safe place to flee to if any complications arise. The more confident he becomes, the further he roams from his base. By analyzing the locations where the victims disappeared, I was able to isolate a zone where the killer might live.
And what size is this, zone?
For the moment, about 10 square miles.
Oh, great. There must be 10,000 people live in that sort of area. You gonna question them one by one?
It may not give us the address of the killer, but at least it's something to go on. Blake, if you've got a better plan, I'm willing to listen. Don't be shy. I'm all ears.
So what's next?
There are two suspects whose psychological profile might fit and can be connected to the comfort zone. I'd like to question them.
At this point, this is where I kind of take a minute to talk about the geolocation, or geolocating that was an option previously. Because, yeah, you don't have the exact address, but you need to know where he is in order to be able to find him.
He is intelligent, organized, and methodical. You won't find him by patrolling
And
the streets.
that kind of comes up as another option here shortly.
Vast experience on the job, or did you just fucking read about it in some school book?
Your vast experience hasn't prevented 8 victims from being murdered.
Fucking asshole! That's enough. You said it took 6 inches of rainfall before the victim died. How much time do we have left?
If the weather forecasts are right, less than 72 hours.
Alright, so at this point, as we get closer to the end and as the scene ends, I kind of point out that this is an actual issue the FBI and police have had of each other. Police think that their street knowledge, as you know, beat cops and stuff like that, is the answer to everything. But they lack the training and experience that the FBI has dealing with these serial killers, these whatever the hell you want to call these people. Some of these people, they're not even people, they're fucking animals. But that's why they have behavioral analysts, why they have profilers, because they have the training and experience that an everyday street cop will never have. And they captured the tenseness between the FBI agent and the cop perfectly, because this is an issue that they've had. Departments don't like working together. But as we come to close to the end of the video, guys, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you like this, hit the like button. If you haven't yet, consider subscribing. And if you like these kind of commentary videos where I can share my thoughts in better ways, let me know. Maybe I'll do some more commentary videos in the future. But that said, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, guys.